All right, Peter, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for the question. Let's talk about why I don't like the vibration only collars. I've talked about this at length before. Well, let me change that. It's not that I don't like them. They do serve a purpose. There is a purpose for them. But let me explain to you a little further what I mean. And yes, I have used them and experimented and gave them a chance only because I wanted to be able to say I did. I knew what the outcome was going to be, okay? So there are people that have great success with the vibration only collars, right? I totally believe that. There's no doubt in my mind. That's not an issue. But they work great until they don't, okay? That's an issue. What happens that one time you have your dog off leash and that vibration only collar isn't enough and the dog blows you off? One time is all it takes to lose a dog, to get a dog injured, or to get a dog killed or someone else injured. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. And here's what I mean. There has to be consequences for doing good, and there has to be consequences for doing wrong. And with the vibration only collar, there is no consequences for doing wrong. So if your dog is off leash and decides to chase a deer and all of a sudden decides it's not coming back to you with the vibration only, what do you do at that point? You can't turn to the e-collar. If the dog's not trained on an e-collar, you can't do that, right? That can make things worse. So that's an issue. Now, the collar there is a good point to the collar. If you plan on not letting your dog off leash, then a vibration only collar can be a great tool for you. It really can. It can be a great tool for someone who's 100% against the use of e-collars. It could be a good gateway tool to maybe changing their mind, or even if they never do change their mind, someone can't complain about a light vibration on a dog, okay? So it could be a good tool for those people. It could be a great tool as an interrupter or a good way to communicate inside the home. It could be a great tool for elderly people that, need a little more assistance inside the home or not going to take their dog off leash, so it does have its benefits. So let's talk about some of the work, some of the experimenting I did with the e-collar, with the vibration only collar, okay? I did it on several dogs, and the results were usually the same if I gave it enough time, okay? Let's talk about Emmy, the Great Dane that you guys had seen me here. I made plenty of videos with her, all right? Emmy was a super soft dog, really soft dog, very sensitive. So once Emmy was full-blown into her training and doing well, completely e-collar trained, I ordered my first vibration-only collar, and I started using it. I started conditioning Emmy to the e-collar, to the vibration-only collar, again. She did very well, and what blew my mind was she actually responded and felt it on a level 1, on the lowest level on the vibration-only collar, super sensitive to it. I was really surprised. I said, whoa, okay, maybe this will be pretty cool. So I started doing the conditioning with the vibration collar just like I do with the e-collar. And she was doing well. She really was. Responding fantastic to it. And then the first time I really put it to the test, Emmy had a very strong nose. She was very scent driven. She was off leash in front of my home. I could trust her off leash at this point, even without the e-collar on. She had the vibration only collar on, which she was doing very well with. She had her nose in the grass. And I put the vibration only collar on the highest level, which I believe is 100, just like the Mini Educator, if I'm not mistaken. The highest level. I started tapping, started holding, started calling her, nothing. I mean, no response whatsoever. Now, this is a dog that responds off a level 1 on the vibration only collar. And I knew that would happen eventually, but it's pretty much happened any dog I've used it on, if I've given a chance. So I've tried it on several dogs because I'm always going to be fair to a tool, and I'm very open-minded. I really am. So yes, the tool does have a purpose, but to make this very short, guys, if your dog is going to be off leash, then it must be e-collar trained. There is no better tool. As a matter of fact, it is the only tool on the planet that can provide that safety and confidence with an off-leash dog. A well-trained, e-collar trained dog, period. There is no substitute. So there's so many people that want to jump to the vibration only collar and get away from the e-collars. All that tells me is that you have an issue with e-collars. Okay, one way or the other, whether you say you do or not, you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying to get away from the best tool, the only tool that provides that true off-leash freedom for your dog. Okay, that's what it is. Now, let's talk about why I will always have a vibration only collar at my home. I'm going to tell you something very, very positive that it worked for. All right, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff here. Let's go back to Emmy. An issue that Emmy had that drove me nuts for the first week was every night between 2 and 3 a.m. she would start barking. I mean, barking nonstop. There was no stopping unless I got up in the middle of the night and took her out. And after talking to her owner, she used to do that back home too. Drove me crazy, okay? So one night I said, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to try something different here. You can't leave an e-collar on the dog all night, right? You can't leave it for extended periods because they can get sores from it. They can get hot spots, they can get irritated. So I never leave an e-collar on a dog more than a few hours at a time before, without moving it or taking it off. So what I did was I put the vibration only collar on the dog before I went to bed. I took the remote for the vibration only collar to bed. So if she started barking, not if, when she started barking, I can tap her with the vibration from my bedroom and hopefully quiet her down. She never made a peep. That was enough to calm her down and make her think, and she never made a peep. And of course you could leave the vibration only collar. There's no contact points. The dog's not going to get irritated. She was here several weeks, longer than any dog I've ever kept, and I kept that vibration collar on her every single night when she went to bed, and she never made another peep. So there is a tremendous benefit to using the vibration only collar, and I encourage every dog trainer to have at least one on hand just for situations like that. That paid off tremendously, okay? So there is benefits to it. I'm not saying the tool should be discontinued and thrown in the garbage. There is benefits. Like I said, if you're going to have your dog remaining on leash, or it's a good interrupter for people that just refuse to ever use e-collars, then by all means, go ahead and give it a shot. It does work very well in most situations. It really does. And it will work most of the time with an off-leash trained dog to the vibration collar. But most of the time isn't good enough when it comes to our dogs' lives, guys. It has to be all of the time, okay? So again, there is a benefit, but if your dog's going to be off leash, then in my opinion, it has to be e-collar trained. That's simple. So the best answer, do e-collar training and vibration only collar training, because it may come in handy for the situation I had there with the dog barking in the middle of the night. All right? Peace.